All right. We are going to get right on into this gig. Now, I'm going to be talking about random hot topics today and giving my opinion on what I see or reading through the comments of what other people feel about the hot topics that are making headlines today and maybe yesterday as well. So, as you guys know, Easter is approaching and the churches have to pull out all of the stops. And in one of the announcements, Marvin Sapp said that in his church program, he's going to switch up the way in which the children get baptized. Okay. So let's listen to his new way that he's going to baptize the children. And then we're going to go from there.
Baptism for our kids. Now listen, this is sick. Listen, I'm a youth pastor at heart. And we're gonna have a slide for the babies. So they'll be able to, they gotta be at least 5 up. Let me say that. But for the babies, we're gonna have a slide, and I'm gonna be at the bottom of the slide so they can just slide down the slide. And when they're at the top, I'm gonna say in Jesus' name, and they're gonna slide down the slide and they're gonna go right in the water. Y'all ain't never seen no baptism like this.
All right. So he is stating that he's going to do water slide baptisms. Okay. So the kids are going to go up. They're going to feel like they're at a water park. And then, they're going to slide down and be baptized. All right. He's innovative and everybody is so creative, Let's listen to some more.
We're going to have baptism for our kids. Now listen, this is sick. Listen, I'm a youth pastor at heart. And we're going to have a slide for the babies. So they'll be able to, they got to be at least 5 up. Let me say that. But for the babies, we're going to have a slide, and I'm going to be at the bottom of the slide so they can just slide down the slide. And when they're at the top, I'm going to say in Jesus' name, and they're going to slide down the slide and they're going to go right in the water. Y'all ain't never seen no baptism like this. Y'all like, where's the spiritual part? It's going to be spiritual, trust me. But we want to just see, sometimes, hear me, you have to be strategic.
All right. So, he's saying that they're going to be strategic. They're going to get the kids to baptism in this way, et cetera, et cetera.
Against the enemy. Y'all missing it.
All right. This is a strategy against the enemy.
Some of y'all babies don't want to get in the bathtub, but they'll jump in the pool. I can't get no help here. I'm by myself. So make sure that you sign them up. We're going to have.
All right. So a lot of people felt like this was a great idea. And then some people were like, we're taking it too far. So I'm going to read some of the comments of social media to show you guys what other people's response to this water slide baptism was, and you guys let me know what you think about it. Do you want your children to be baptized down a water slide? Is that something that you're into and you're feeling like? Let me know down below, but let's look at the comments. So as you can see, someone says, love this. Okay, another person says, you got to meet children where they are sometimes. And then another person says, they said next we using Texas Roadhouse for communion. Another person says, I think that's such a cute idea for Christian kids. I like it. At least they be involved and remember that day. Somebody said $50 donation minimum to get on the slide, LOL. Another person says, I actually like the idea. When I was baptized, I came back up swinging. My old church still does this. It's a great way to get and keep everyone involved. Y'all acting like getting baptized gotta be a sad occasion or something, LOL. Meanwhile, God is hilarious. And then another person said, that's nice. Why not? Another person says, my grown self want to get baptized like this, LOL. So there was a lot of people in the comments who like this idea. Some stating that when they got baptized as a child, they were scared, etc. And then other people felt as though, child, y'all doing too much. Like, we always got to be extra and do the most. Just baptize the babies. Another person says, why do you have to use strategy to get people baptized? Maybe I'm misunderstanding him, but it sounds like he wants to trick the kids into being baptized. This misses the whole purpose of baptism. That's not actually baptism. They're just sliding in a pool. There's nothing spiritual about this. All right. And so on and so on. Someone says, horrible idea. We don't need to incentivize baptism. Let people be ready. If a child chooses early, that's wonderful. All right. So there was people who agreed with it, and there were people who did not think that this was necessary. One person says, if kids need fun to get baptized and the weight alone of one of the most important sacraments of our faith is not enough, they might not be old enough to understand the depth of the decision they're making. I'm all down for doing things new, but we don't need to work to make God attractive. God alone is dope. The problem is that the church has done so much to turn people off that I guess they is now looking for silly ways to win them back. All right. While others felt like there's nothing wrong with this, Bambi says, this is not cool. Anyone who has been baptized knows that you have to come in agreement that you take the Lord Jesus Christ as your savior. Trickery is an act from the enemy. All right, so those are some of the people's reaction to this baptized water slide deal. Now, as for me, again, I'm not a religious person. I've told you guys several times that I'm not really a religious person. I think, in my humble opinion, a lot of times these baptisms are done as just like a performance type of thing. It doesn't really, like, I don't think that majority of the kids who are baptized know the importance of the act. They just doing it because it looks cool. Like, even the regular way of getting baptized, a lot of kids are just doing it because, oh, you know, they see somebody doing it and then they want to get dunked in the water and come up too. You know, they see Sister Mary got in the water and she done flipped back and came forward. And then the kids think that it's something, you know, to do. Like, oh, I want to do that too. I don't like, for me personally, again, I'm not religious. I don't really see, like, I don't know. It's not for me. But hey, if it works for them and that's the way that they want to get their kids baptized, then so be it. Now, there was a lot of stuff going on. Now, a big story that dropped is the husband of a former Homeland Security Secretary. It came out that he was cross-dressing. All right, so it says, husband of former Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem is accused of living a secret double life as a cross-dresser. Report claims he paid thousands to S-workers and asked a model to turn him into a girl. All right. So it says a former Homeland Security Secretary, you know, he was living it up in girls' clothes. It says representatives for Kristi say the family was completely caught off guard by the allegations. Miss Noem is devastated. The family was blindsided by this, and they asked for privacy and prayers at this time. Her representative said, it says she hasn't publicly addressed this herself. And then they gave an update. So the update was that she was devastated. Now, I believe that she has every right to be devastated. And if she want to get it back in blood, get it back in blood. Because you don't play with somebody's health and wealth like this. If you want to play in women's clothes, you want to dress up like a girl, then do that on your own time. Like, I'm so sick of people having these alternative lifestyles that they know the person that they're with would not be okay with it, and taking away their option to choose. I will never be okay with people being down low. I think that we are in 2026. There's plenty of trans, gay, lesbian people, and you can find your tribe. You can find women who are okay with it. Kalani was a woman who had a baby by a gay man, and it absolutely is your person. Now, I interviewed a guy from years ago who had dated gay men and dealt with trans, and there were people in the comments who said that they would still date him. People as in biological women who said that they would still date him. The problem is men don't want to give women the choice. They want to, look, oh, I want her, so I know she won't be okay with it, so I'm gonna just lie about it. Lying about stuff like this is never okay. I don't think that it's okay, and I feel like, child, whatever, if it's money attached to it, if she got to take him for all he's worth, she can do whatever it takes, because doing stuff like this is wrong. I think that it's just despicable. I don't have a ounce of sympathy for DL men, and I don't care about, oh, the reason why men are DL is because y'all don't accept them. I don't have to accept a DL man. Like, I don't understand where y'all get off thinking that if I'm a heterosexual woman, I have to date a bisexual man. I'm a heterosexual woman, so I want to date a heterosexual man. And there's nothing wrong with my preference. There are people who are lesbian. There are women who like women. Their preference is to date other women. Everybody in the dating world has a choice but heterosexual people. And I think that that's bullshit. People decide, you know, hey, I'm a man, I want to date men, and that's their choice and that's okay. But whenever there is a heterosexual person who wants to date other heterosexual people, then they're guilt tripped with all of these phobias. Oh, the reason why they're like that is because, oh, you won't accept them. You're damn right. I don't have to. But there are women that will. Now, and that's not to say that me as a heterosexual woman, I've never dated a guy who lived a double life. It's a lot of liars. It's a lot of men who take the right and the choice away from women every day. But just because that is the thing, and I may have encountered a man who was living a lie, does not make it okay. And that does not mean that I'm going to be okay with it. Okay? So there's that. Now, there was a video on social media about women who got arrested at the airport for refusing to pay for their bags at Frontier Airlines. It says, a mess. 3 women arrested after allegedly refusing to pay Frontier bag fee, board and fly anyway, and forcing passengers to evacuate plane. One woman allegedly spat on someone while another twerked in handcuffs. Now, when I made my comment on the neighborhood talk, I didn't listen to the video, and I didn't listen to the fact that they didn't pay for a bag at all. I just commented, and I was just like, child, you know, the airport do get ridiculous with these bag fees or whatever. But looking deeper into the story, I guess these ladies didn't pay for a bag, and they thought that they were just going to take on a bag. From reading the headline, I thought that they had, you know how Frontier and Spirit, those like budget airlines do? What they do is people will pay like $50 for a carry-on bag, and then if you have like the slightest bulge in your bag, or it's like a little bit, you know, just a little bit bigger than that little box, the airline employees target and like guests for this bag fee commission. And if you have to pay for an oversized bag at the gate, they tack on a whopping $100 to your travel. So when I seen this headline, I didn't look at the fact that they had already not, they didn't pay for a bag at all. They just showed up and said, bitch, we on here. So this was my comment, and it was a lot of bobblehead responses or whatever. We'll get to that in a second, but let's get into this story.
You look good. You're not going to do nothing. Enjoy prison, baby.
This happened last night at MIA after 26-year-old Devonna Cochran, 21-year-old.
Okay, so the lady is screaming. She said, we have receipts that we paid.
Year-old Dejanna Cochran and 30-year-old Nafisa Dockery refused to get off their Frontier flight. Now, according to the arrest reports, it all started after a Frontier worker told them they would have to pay for their baggage. Investigators say that they refused and then got into an argument with the employee. After the employee told them that they would not be allowed on the plane unless they paid for their baggage, they stormed onto the plane. Deputies were called, they went onto the plane, and they told the three of them that they had to get off. Well, the arrest report states that the deputies, they asked them multiple times, but they refused. Law enforcement was then forced to have the entire plane evacuate in order to arrest this trio. And during the struggle, deputies say that Dockery spit on a woman. And we showed Frontier passengers the video of the women being escorted off the plane. Here's the reaction.
It's really crazy. Like, it's disturbing, because why are you acting like this towards the workers? I mean, you know the rules and regulations. When you read the flight, they give you all the information, the rules. You know you're supposed to pay for baggage. Why act like this? That's insane.
The group is charged with battery, trespassing after a warning, and resisting an officer.
All right. So it says, according to reports, 30-year-old Nafisa Dockery, 21-year-old Dejanna Cochran, and 26-year-old Devonna Cochran were in the process of boarding a Frontier flight headed to Philly when an employee noticed they had 2 carry-on bags but had only paid for one. The employee told them to step out of line and pay for the extra bag, but the situation turned into a back and forth. The employee warned the women they would be removed from the flight if they didn't pay. Instead, Dockery allegedly told the other 2 to ignore the employee, and the group rushed onto the plane. Police were called and told the women their tickets had been canceled and that they needed to get off the aircraft. However, they refused to leave, despite being warned that they could be arrested. Deputies then decided to clear the entire plane. As other passengers got off, the women finally got up and deplaned, but Dockery allegedly spat on a person. Once they were off the plane, deputies told the women to put their hands behind their backs, but they refused, which led to a struggle. Video later posted by Only Indeed showed the women in handcuffs being escorted away. The flight was delayed for 1 hour because of the incident, and the women were later taken to the Turner Guilford Night Correctional Center. All right. So that is the story. And like I said, when I made a comment on here, I just read the headline. I just read that they were told to pay for their bags. And I was speaking on how these airlines, they will target you and they will get you to pay for fees. I said they're ridiculous how they get people for that bag fee at times. I saw a video of how they target people and make a commission on those, so I get it. And again, that was just off of this. I didn't read the whole paragraph where it said that, you know, 1 person paid and 2 people didn't, which, you know, you definitely should be doing that. And then some lady was like, "I'm sorry, I don't understand your comment." And I was just like, "Girl, what's not clicking, sweetie? Like, what don't you understand?" To which some girl like responded, and she was like, "This why I don't like you as a YouTuber. I'm unsubscribing from you and I'm no longer supporting because you are mean." And then there was other people in the thread like, "I don't support her. She mean. I don't like her. I've been stopped subscribing to her." And I'm just like, why do y'all be feeling like y'all gotta announce y'all departure? Like, it's okay. I know that I am an acquired taste. Bitches was just trying to cancel me last month when I did the story on Tyra. Hundreds and hundreds of people unsubscribed. They didn't give not one announcement. They just hit that button and left. There was a couple who felt like they needed to make their grand announcement of departure. But for the most part, it was a bunch of people who just unsubscribed. And I feel like, girl, click the button. Okay? I'm not one of those YouTubers. See, a lot of YouTubers be kissing y'all ass and they be doing like phony, fake personalities to keep subscribers and all that. And that's good, because that's good for the bag. I love that for them. I think that that is an amazing business strategy. Be fake with these motherfuckers. Act like you love everything they say, and when they cuss you out, kiss their feet. that is an amazing business strategy. Okay, you will get tons and tons of money. You will get love, and the faker you are, the better you will make it as a YouTuber. That will take you far. As for me, unfortunately, no matter how much I try to care, I don't. So, hey. Unsubscribe, bitches. I mean, I don't know what to say. But anyways, moving on. Let's see. So, Tokyo Tony and Tia Kemp have been going bar for bar, round for round, going at each other. We'll cover that in the next video. But let's talk about this correspondent who decided to steal this girl's picture and put her face on her picture. Now, we are living in a time where, like I said, a lot of these bitches be fake and phony. They be faking it for the internet, faking it for the gram, all of those things. And this girl to the right is a prime example, fake personality, fake life, fake everything. So a white correspondent was caught allegedly using AI to put her face on a black woman's body at the US Open. Okay? And then she deleted the post after she was called out and didn't apologize for it. So a black woman went to the US Open. She was in her fabulousness. And a white influencer decided, oh, well, let me flex to my people and act like I'm outside, And a lot of people was like, wait a minute, girl, this is homegirl picture and you stole it and you is caught in 4K and what is it giving? And unfortunately, this is a lot of people. You got so many people using AI to the point that I'm convinced that some of them think those pictures are them. It got to the point to where we are so far beyond filters. At first, it used to be filters and people would not the filters that kind of slightly smooth your skin. There was filters that completely made people not look like how they look for real. Now we got to the point to where people are completely generating whole bodies on themselves. They put in their face and they AI in birthday photo shoots. They AI in business card photos. And it's kind of getting ridiculous. Now, somebody in the comments said they both look like AI, and I'm not going to hold you. It kind of does for both of the pictures. Both of the pictures kind of do look like AI. But hey, the black girl was really there, I guess. So Tatiana Elizabeth, she commented, and this is what she had to say about it. She said, bar for bar, the weirdest part about this is that it's not even an AI influencer. This is a real person who used AI to put her head on my body. She geotagged Miami as if she's at the Miami Open when my photo was taken at the US Open 2 years ago. So they showed how the girl had posted up the picture. She has 1.6 million subscribers or followers, and then she decided to delete that thing once she got called out. And I feel like we are taking a horrible turn in society to where things are stranger than fiction. Like, what is wrong with y'all's real lives? Like, do y'all really have to look lit or appear to be lit that much that you gotta fake that you at somewhere that you're not? Now, the only thing that's acceptable is posting somewhere that you're currently not. Is if you go on vacation, you take pictures, and then you unload all of the pictures once you get back home, the videos, I mean, that's like okay. Or you posting like a throwback or something. Those things are okay, but this new generation where they are AIing their entire lives, every picture is an AI. And it's like, bitch, I forgot what you really look like. Every picture is an AI. Like, people are AIing things to death. And it's ridiculous. I think it's totally crazy. Now, another conversation that had a lot of people talking was Ari Lennox revealing that she's never reached her climax from going to Pound Town. And she had this discussion where they were basically stating that they have reached climax by pleasing themselves over reaching it from a man. And whether a lot of women admit this or not, this is the case for a lot of girls. Like, a lot of girls deal with men who don't please them. And a lot of men are on some BS when it comes to pleasure because they don't really get in tune with the woman's body, and they just doing what'll get them off, and then, you know, wham bam, whatever. And this is a lot of people's stories. So let's listen to what she says.
For women, and we don't talk about this that much, but you know, for most women, it's really hard to climax from penetration alone. Like, most women always say that it usually only happens when they get head. So I feel like that was the first time that had ever happened to me. So it was a moment worth crying for.
Oh, wow. That was your first time?
That I climaxed from penetration.
Wait a minute. When was this?
Yesterday.
No. No, it was a long time ago. It was like maybe like 5 years ago.
No, because this is really inspiring.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I wonder, like, will it ever happen for me?
Really?
I've had a baby. I feel like, you know how it feels like after you come, like the feeling of, what is that, pulsating?
Yes,
yeah.
I felt that. I felt that while having sex. I don't know what that is, like I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
But I've never felt like a full-blown orgasm the way I feel like getting head or like,
Yeah.
All right. So they're going to talk a little bit more, but like I said, there's a lot of women who can relate to that. And you would have men who think that they're just putting it down. But I blame us as women. Now, not me, because I'm going to tell a nigga, but y'all, I blame a lot of y'all because y'all will let these men hop on top of y'all and not be real with them until y'all don't date them no more, right? As soon as y'all get mad at them, then you want to be real and tell them that they got a little wanker and that they're not satisfying you. And now these men think that when women tell them, like, nigga, you got a little dick or you ain't really putting it down, you only say it when you're mad, so they think that you're lying about it. But let me be honest with some of y'all men. A lot of women, when y'all break up and they tell you that your wee-wee ain't hitting like that, they're not a majority. Now, I can't speak for all girls, but majority of them are not lying to you. But because y'all don't keep it real right then and there, they think that y'all lying when y'all finally reveal the big shebang when y'all no longer are together, instead of making them get it right then and there. No, you need to move a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right, up, down, up, down, up, down, or whatever it takes to get you where you need to be, because, baby, you got to think of yourself, because these men think about their own self.
Myself.
I'm not gonna lie. I think that's because I think when women, and I'm not speaking for all women, I'm just speaking for myself, because I think most of the time when women have an orgasm from penetration, there has to be some kind of emotional component.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think it's a mental thing for us.
Yeah.
I have never had an orgasm from penetration. We were just like doing it and being
Wait,
never.
wow, this is deep.
Yeah, I think
Definitely an emotional connection.
it's an emotional connection from
'Cause
penetration.
porn-
Yeah.
Porn to have you thinking like, dang, I'm so behind.
Yeah.
Them girls who be doing them X-rated videos, y'all got to understand that they're getting paid for a service. So they can't sell the service if they showing you, girl, he ain't even made me, come or whatever. They, like, you cannot believe what you see in those adult videos. I had acquaintances with girls who were in that industry, and you would be surprised that a lot of those scenes be fake. They be fake. They be fake moaning, fake this, fake that, because you got to think how often they getting taken to Pound Town. They gotta, it's a movie, it's acting. But I will say this, whether you have your full climax or not, any type of intimate action is always better when you have feelings for the person. If you don't have feelings for them it takes the level of their rating in bed down some notches. Cause I done had times where the D wasn't really all that. But it was the fact that I liked the person as a person that made the D okay. You know, it's like, okay, we could, you know, I like you, so, you know. But that's what makes it okay. Like, you know, it gives you some points, like when you actually like the person. And it also gives men some points when they actually pay attention to their partner in bed. Like, if you see that you hit the spot right here and that really gets a reaction out of her and she, you know, going crazy, like, focus on that. Get, you know what I'm saying? Get her right. Get her where she want to be. But, you know, men, they be so focused on, oh, this angle, this don't really hit right for me. So, no, let me get to where I'm going to get mine at. So they'll hurry up and, you know, get out of that position. No, get her right. And then you get yourself right. Period. Ladies first. Like, ladies first. So I just wanted to talk about that because I feel like that is a lot of women. Now, as it pertains to Porsha, apparently her ex-husband, Simon, was taking her to court because she said that he couldn't get it up. Now, she said that he had a situation where his willy wasn't waking up and doing what it needed to do. And he wanted to sue her for telling the people about this. Now, in these type of lawsuits, you have to prove that your willy works, okay? You have to prove that, you know what I'm saying, what she's saying is a lie. Look, sir, it stands at attention, etc. Well, I don't know if he was able to prove that the willy worked right or not, but it looks like he is dropping the case for now. So it says, Simon drops case about Porsha allegedly accusing him of not being able to get it up, but says he can refile later. According to DMZ, Simon has officially dropped his lawsuit that he filed back in 2024 over the posts about his erectile dysfunction that he felt were aimed at him. It says, now, here's where it gets interesting. A judge granted the dismissal, but made it clear that if Simon tries to bring the case back, he could end up footing Porsha's legal bills. For context, Simon originally claimed Porsha's social media post made it seem like she was talking about him and damaged his reputation. Porsha, on the other hand, denied that completely and said the posts weren't about him at all. Simon asked for the case to be dropped after being unable to attend trial following his deportation in late 2025. Porsha agreed to the dismissal but wanted her legal fees covered. That request was denied. Okay, so, child, a whole hot mess. A hot mess, okay? And you know what is interesting? That Simon is a man of a particular age, but there are a lot of young guys who wee-wees ain't working right. Like, these guys at 20 years old are taking honey packs. They taking super soaker omega pills. They're taking lean. They're taking sugar booger. They're taking all of these different things, and at a much younger rate, their willies are not working. Y'all need to get it together, okay? Get it together or forget it forever, because nobody wants a gummy noodle trying to go up in them. Like, what? Absolutely not. Let's see what else is going on.
Your thoughts on President Trump's crackdown on illegal aliens?
I mean, you know, with President Trump, what he's doing, first of all, I love what he's done so far for our country. I think he's helped our country a lot. In terms of where he stands with that, I think, you know, I'm a firm believer because I have family members and I have people that are immigrants. I think, you know, I believe, you know, for those that do the thing the right way and get the papers, I think they should be taken care of first and foremost. I think that's the right thing, right? I think that's the right way of going about it. But yes, do we have some great, brilliant minds of people that are in the process of getting their papers or in the process of their in-between stage, I totally understand. I think it should be case by case on the right people.
Thoughts on President?
All right. So let's see what the comments had to say about Tristan. Somebody said, help our country in what ways? Another person says, this guy is Canadian. Another person says, he's on the payroll. Who cares what he thinks? Isn't he Canadian? I guess everybody coming out. Another person says, I think all reporters should always follow this question up with, what has he done specifically that you're in support of, and how has he benefited the American people? Another person says, all the celebs support him. Stop being surprised, people. All right. Another person says, name just one thing he's done for all Americans. And I'm just trying to figure it out as well. Another person says, all these tap dancing celebrities are irritating me. Okay, child, they getting irritated. Now, speaking of the celebrities in support of, did y'all get, oh, yeah, I have moved it over, child. Anyways, speaking of all of these celebrities that have been coming out in support of Trump, Funky Dineva had made a post, and I think Chronicle Speaks had reposted it. It came down my timeline because she had reposted it. He feels as though, it's unforgivable for them to be, hold on, let me see. Where is it at? Did she take it off? Okay, I don't know where the repost go on the page. Anyway, she reposted Funky Dineva. Let me just go straight to Funky Dineva. All right. This is what Funky Dineva had to say.
A high stakes game at this point. You are either a friend or an enemy. There is no more, everyone's allowed to have their own political view. No, the fuck you ain't. No, you not. You are not allowed to have your own political views. No, you not, baby. Either you got the ones we got, or you got to get the hell on. That's where we at with it. That is how life or death this situation is. See, we don't got too comfortable with this to each its own. Everybody could know the hell you can't, bitch. No, you can't. Not when people around here dying, not when cost of living through the roof, not when we at war, not when they hunting people down like animals, not when families being torn apart, not with racist policies being put in place, not with voter suppression going on, not with alligator Alcatraz going on.
All right, so he just went off and said that it's a high stakes time right now. And right now is not the time to be passive about who people choose to align with. Now, I believe that people can, vote for who they want, but I don't have to support them. You know what I mean? I won't make a cancel campaign, but I personally don't have to support them. Let's go to the comments. Somebody says, or Claudia Jordan says, exactly. Another person says, the good sis who edits these clips ate this up. The editor needs a raise. Okay, people are talking about the editor. Quiet as it's kept. Anybody who praises white mediocrity to the list. Also, all a white person has to do is sing R&B or do half of an electric slide, and here y'all go beating down their door with praise, etc. Somebody said, well, this is where we are at in America. It's real. All right. And somebody says, I came to this decision a couple of months ago. And somebody said, when I stopped speaking to people who support him, they were shocked. This is beyond a party. This is life or death. Yeah. And I feel like, it's up to you who you feel like you want to align yourself with. And if you feel like people who vote for Trump or are aligned with Trump are not in alignment with you, it is your right to unlink yourselves with them. I don't feel like anybody has to link up with anybody that they feel like they're not aligned to. That goes for me as well. There's several people who feel like me as a YouTuber. They don't like my attitude. They don't like how I give it up. They don't like this or that. And I'm not in alignment. You know, there's several YouTubers that are that in that alignment, you know. Hey, there's a tribe for everyone. Now, let's see. And why is Tyler Perry and this whole TSA funded giveaway down every blog, every other minute? There's some type of update. Oh, Tyler Perry tried to give a donation. He was turned away. Oh, Tyler Perry gave a donation. Oh, they got to give Tyler Perry the money back. Oh, I'm like, is Tyler Perry like trying to, and I think that is a great gesture. Don't get me wrong. There are a lot of TSA workers who had delayed payment, non-payment, etc., and they needed to take care of their families. But I'm just like, why are, like, okay, we get the announcement. I think he did a good deed. But at some point, it started to feel like it was like a PR run, okay? Because it was like I remember, it was the other day, I scrolled and every scroll was a Tyler Perry post. And I understand that the algorithm, once you look at one thing, it put more of those things in your algorithm. But I was like, well, goddamn, Tyler Perry, TSA, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, we get it. Nice gesture. I think that was nice because that's not right for them not to be able to be paid and not to be able to work all those hours and be compensated or have their compensation delayed. You know, I feel like, who got time for that? Bills is billing every day. Things is getting higher and higher. Gas is through the roof. I need my money now. Okay, so I appreciate him for lending and helping him, but good Lord, I was like Tyler Perry overload one day. It was a lot. Let's see. All right. Let's see what else is going on. Child, y'all still getting these fake teeth from these doctors. And I understand, you know, people can't afford to go to the doctor. They can't afford the prices. But if you gotta go to an unlicensed person, I feel like the better alternative is to get you a grill. Okay? If you are uncomfortable with your teeth and you don't want to show your teeth, rather than going to these people that is drilling into your mouth that are unlicensed and causing you all of this agony, go get you a grill, okay? It's much cheaper. It'll cover up all the teeth, okay? You get a good person, do you a grill for a couple $100. It is much better than letting them shave down and file your teeth and put these fake teeth on, and then you have all of these sharp pains because they don't medically have the knowledge to really do a thing and all those things. Just get you a grill, okay? So this right here, it says, a Memphis woman seeks justice after receiving a $1,200 veneer service from an unlicensed provider that she found on Facebook and left her severely botched. She said, I knew it was something when he didn't put my picture on Facebook.
Her money back after she says she paid for veneers that left her with damage so severe no licensed dentist is willing to help her. Good evening and thanks for staying up with us. I'm Stephanie Skurlock.
And I'm Greg Hurst. WRG's Caitlin Barker spoke with this patient who says she's been dealing with a nightmare.
It hurts so bad. It's terrible. It feels just like a toothache.
This is what Vashay Bowen's teeth look like after she went to an unlicensed service provider offering high-end cosmetic dental services. Bowens told me she found Kane Jones on Facebook and thought he would be able to enhance her smile with veneers after having partials and gold teeth removed.
I also took the partials out of my mouth and sent him a picture of how my mouth looked without the partials. And he was like, oh yeah, I can cover them, and you know, even that teeth you got in the bag, you ain't gonna notice none of that.
During her appointment, Bowen says she went against her better judgment when she allowed this provider to work on her smile in a salon studio suite. She says it wasn't until the veneers were done and she
getting your teeth, okay, so there's so many things that we can skimp out on, and we can go like backdoor ya or whatever to get certain services. Your teeth is not one of those things that you can take the backdoor route. Going to a hair salon to get your teeth done is not okay. Like it comes to a point to where it's like, I want to sympathize for you, but you went to a hair salon to somebody that you knew don't got the credentials if they in a hair salon putting your teeth on. We cannot skimp out on the price for our mouth. Like, we gotta live with, like, these is your teeth, this is your mouth, like, this is sensitive. Like, you bite on something the wrong way or you drink something too sweet, like, this is your teeth. Like, a hair salon, girl.
Got home that she realized something was wrong.
I knew it was something when he didn't put my pictures on Facebook.
Bowen says the veneers were unaligned and extremely heavy. When she went back to the suite to have the mistake rectified, it was too late.
He took this drill, he drilled my mouth. I guess he was trying to even it out, but the bridge was so hard, rock. He couldn't do it.
Bowens reached out to the Tennessee Department of Health to see if they could help, but they told her he's running an unlicensed business and impersonating a licensed practitioner, both of which are against the law and fall under the jurisdiction of law enforcement. I reached out to Kane Jones on Facebook for his side of the story. In response, he told me this client was a liar and blocked me. Jones never responded to my request for an interview.
I'm dealing with just pain and nobody able to work on my mouth because it's a, you know, like I said, don't nobody want to go behind his work.
Do you regret doing this?
I do. I do, because I could walk around with my Porsha. I was fine. Mm-hmm. I just, like I said, you know, everybody's, you know, that's the style veneers. Hey, let me give me some too. And he doing them for $1,200, but I should have.
That's the problem. That's the problem. Everybody want to do what everybody doing. There's no originality. All the women look alike. Everybody want to pow they mouth with fake teeth. Everybody, all these, what's irritating me even more than the veneers, which, you know, you want to have your teeth straight with veneers, that's fine. You know, me personally, I got a gap. I was born with a gap. I'm keeping my gap, period. But that's me. I'm okay with me. I'm comfortable with who I am. I like the way I look. I don't feel like I need to change my teeth. There are some people who feel like, girl, you got a gap, you need to put braces on. And I feel like, child, this is how I was born. It is what it is. There are some teeth that do need correcting, though. Like, I won't act like just because you was born with them teeth, you got to keep them. Because if you have, like, shark teeth or veer teeth or, like, throwing up West Side, I will judge you. If your teeth are, like, butter and they look butter yellow, I will judge you. You know what I'm saying? So there are some teeth situations where I will feel like, girl, no, like, we can't keep this way. Like, there's need to be a change. But the change needs to happen at a dentist. And we are in 2026 to where you could put teeth on layaway. This ain't the time where, you know, you had to pay up front or it was either your insurance covered it or not. They got care credit. They got afterpay. They got all of these installment plans to where it is possible to go through the proper channels and get your teeth done correctly. And, you know, what I was going to say about the women these days, Black women specifically, is everybody is trying to look the damn same. Nobody has an original look. These girls are looking at Jada Chavez and Ari Fletcher, and they're like, oh, look, they got a BBL. Let me go get a BBL. Oh, now the new thing is the lips. Oh, they plumping up their lips to the max. Oh, let me go plump up my lips. Now you got all of these Black women who have naturally beautiful lips, plumping up their lips, and everybody's looking like this. Looking a mess. It doesn't look good. I don't know who told y'all that these plumped up lips look good, but I have yet to see a girl with these plumped up, filled up, over plump lips look good. It looks a mess. It looks a mess. And we talk about transgender women trying to be women, but and a lot of women feel like, you know, some type of way, but a lot of y'all, when y'all do some of these cosmetic changes, you're making yourself look, you know, not like you were biologically born like that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, some of y'all are making yourselves look like you wasn't born female with some of these changes, and it all stems from people trying to follow what the next bitch is doing on some follow the leader, no originality. Let me be like the next girl. Let me look like the next girl. Let me do what the next girl do type of time, and it's ridiculous. Now, I'm not saying that you can't fix certain things on your body that you feel like, oh, you know, I got flat lips, let me pump them up a bit. I'm talking about the girls who already have nice plump lips, plumping them up to the max. It looks a mess. If you were born with thin, small lips and you want to make yourself look like you got a lip, okay, I get it. But the girls who got full lips, like, they'll have full lips like me and then go plump, 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 plump. That don't look good. And then you got all of these girls who way before their time are getting Botox and pumping their face up before they even get a wrinkle. Now, once you get about 50 years old, 60 years old, and your face, the elasticity is wrinkled and your skin is drooping and you need a little plump plump. Okay, but you have girls in their 20s. Face is tight. Skinny girls running and plumping their face up with this Botox, and then they filling up the lips, and you making yourself look crazy. It looks crazy. It absolutely does. I don't know who needs to tell you, but it looks a mess. It looks a mess. But yeah, she said her sign to know that her teeth wasn't done right because the man didn't post them on Facebook. That's diabolical. Okay, imagine getting your teeth done and the only way that you knew that it wasn't done right is because a social media influencer didn't post your picture on Facebook. That's crazy. All right, so I just wanted to go over a couple of topics with y'all. Let's see if there's anything else we want to talk about. Oh, I wanted to talk about this Gervonta Davis thing. Hold on. Let me go to Hollywood Unlocked. Because let me find out, a lot of y'all be getting smacked and beat up and y'all think that that's normal. Child, it gave. A lot of women are letting men manhandle them, strong arm them, and y'all think that that's love and that's normal and that's cool. The comments under this Gervonta Davis footage was very telling because, girl, why y'all letting men manhandle y'all like that? I don't know. I'm just not one of those type of people. Like, I love to tussle and I'll comment to y'all, but a nigga better not grab me and put his hands on me and push me nowhere. Don't put your hands on me. If we into it, don't fucking touch me. Because I don't know how to handle that stuff like that. Like, I get like you're touching me and I don't want you to touch me. I don't look at that and feel like that's love or, this is just, we just into it. Like, girl, he's slamming me up against the washer and dry. That's normal. There was a lot of people in the comments like, what did he do wrong? He just pushing her out the damn club and pulling her by the hair. What's wrong with that? And I'm like, what? I don't see nothing wrong. All he did was yank her hair and yoke her up. And I'm like, huh? What are we talking about? Like, what's going on? It's not okay.
And here comes the defendant. And you can see he grabs her by the hair and pushes her. That's the first one.
Thank you, J Real Life, for the super chat. How you get, what did that say? On set? How you get that emoji on there? $1.99. It got the emoji on there. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Okay, let me try to see if I can make it bigger.
You can see he's grabbing her by the hair and pushing her down the stairs. Michael, go to the next one.
Let me restart it.
And here comes the defendant. And you can see he grabs her by the hair and pushes her. That's the first one. You can see he's grabbing her by the hair and
Okay, and if it's hard for you guys to see, he basically got her head pulled like this and pushing her out of the club. Okay, I don't know if y'all can see, but he got a handful of her hair and he got her, like, you know, pushing her up out the club.
pushing her down the stairs. Michael, go to the next one. And you can see her pleading with him.
All right, and you can see he's like pulling on her and pushing her like where he wants her to go to get out of there. Okay, and he's just showing different angles of their exit.
Where should his head on that?
Yeah.
All right, and he's still got his hands on her, pushing her out of there.
And this is down in the garage where he pushes her down the stairs to the garage.
The security going over the one is that as well.
And you can see, and here's where she escapes.
All right, so you see that she runs away from him.
Michael, go to the last one, please. That was it. Your Honor, you can see what happened. What happened is consistent with the affidavit she gave to the police. It's consistent with the...
All right. So
And here comes the defendant.
I maybe covered it up.
And you can see he grabs her by the hair and pushes her.
But she ended up, after he like pushed her out and was trying to get her to go to the car, she ended up running back to the car. I mean, she ran back into the establishment. All right. So let's look at the comments, because like I said, there was a lot of women who felt like, girl, this is regular degular. What's the problem? What's the issue? What's the problem, sweetie? So Carlissa, Blueface Mom, says, let me watch it again because I missed the push down the stairs. Another person says, I don't see the push down the stairs, etc. Is he cool? Because I see some normal relationship-ish. When you mad at each other, I don't see him hit or punch her. It was just grabbing. So, Lola, so your man just yanking your hair and pulling your hair and pushing you out of establishment, that's normal to you? And he doesn't mean literally she's at the top of a flight of stairs and then he stands at the top of the flight of stairs and then he pushes and watch her fall down the stairs. That's not what he means by push her down the stairs. He means that he forcefully moves her body with his hands by grabbing her hair and pushes her in the direction down the stairs. He doesn't mean literally that I'm at the stairs and then I push her and then she falls and breaks her ankle. That's not what he was saying. But that's the way that a lot of people in the comments took it. Another person says, the fact that other people around and didn't do anything is crazy. Another person says, did he hit her? I ain't see it. Another person says, the correlation between boxers and domestic abuse needs to be studied. But let's get into this comment thread, because he said, did he hit her? I ain't see it. Carlissa says, no, they got him being aggressive at best. Aggressive? Pulling her by the hair is assault. Like, what? Somebody said, Carlissa says, look like he pushed her that way. The hair was still intact. Girl, you seen he had a handful of her hair and was pushing her. What is you talking about? You know he had her by the hair and was pushing her out that club. Like, what? And then this person, what I hate about people who log into fake pages is the fact that they be feeling like they got to log into these fake pages to say stuff. Like, say what you got to say from your real page, because what you said stands. We can see why your son don't respect no women, not even you or the mothers of his plenty of kids. Like, you didn't have to log into a fake page to say that. You could have said that with your whole chest, period, from your real page. All right. Another person says, the fact that it's others around not saying or doing ish is crazy. He needs me as a friend ASAP. Girl, you wouldn't be around him as a friend. Anybody who says anything as a friend wouldn't be in his circle. All right. Another person says, he grabbed her hair, definitely, but I don't see pushing down the stairs. And I'm like, y'all don't understand that they don't mean literally like she's falling and tumbling and doing cartwheels down the stairs. He just means that he's using his force to push her to walk down the stairs. That's literally what he did. Like, what? Jay Real Life says, I'm staying out of this one. Child, let us know something. You be yoking girls up and you think that's cool? What's that giving? Why you staying out of this one? You be putting your hands on women or something? Like, what? Like, why? Why are we staying out of this conversation? Let me know. Another person says, y'all love abusive men. All right. All right. So, child, this is what the people had to say. Another person says he did the same to his first baby mama. The only difference is it was in front of a whole arena of people. He could have been saving her for all we know. He didn't see the whole video. Another person says, publication said Tank dragged her out the club by her hair like she was dragged across the floor. They really just be saying stuff. This ain't none. Another woman said, a reach. Another person says, what did I watch? All I see a kid was doing is grabbing her. Did you see Diddy in the elevator? All right. Someone says, so where's the assault? I look like 7 times. Another person says, laugh my ass off. They got nothing. All right. And I agree with you, Miss Woman here. She said, these comments show me how many abusers there are and how many have been abused and think it's okay. Right. Child, a mess. A hot mess express. But I thought that was interesting as well. Now, I told y'all about my situation when I was 19 years old. I was dating a guy and he called me a bitch and I maced his ass. Now, that was absolutely assault. That was absolutely assault. Even though I feel like he deserved it, that was assault. He could have pressed charges on me and I could have took my little 100-pound soaking wet tail, because at the time when I was 19 years old, child, I was like 110 pounds soaking wet. I could have went to jail. Like, that's assault. Like, you can't just be putting your hands on people and doing stuff and thinking that there's no repercussions. Like, that is absolutely assault. And him pulling her and grabbing her hair and forcefully pushing her out of the building, he don't have a right to do that. You don't own people, okay? He does not have any ownership over her. He does not own her. So he cannot physically remove her out of nowhere. And if he does, which some people in relationships do, then if the other person feels violated, they can file charges for that. You know, they absolutely can. It is what it is. But that's all for the topics. If you guys want to come up and y'all want me to drop the StreamYard link and talk about this, we can get into some things. We can open up the StreamYard if y'all want. If not, child, I'll catch y'all on the next one. Let's see here. Let's see what y'all talking about. If he saved her, then why would she run back towards the threat? Right. I mean, you know, people always find an excuse for people. They try to find an excuse for people's actions, and it is what it is. Like, child, they always do that. And a lot of women, they wish it was them. Like, oh, you know, he worth X amount of money. Oh, I would let him manhandle me. Oh, you know, he got money, young girl. Let him yank my hair in every which way. You know? Child, speaking of hair, I'm trying to brace myself for this hairstyle that I'm about to do next, child. I told y'all I'm getting boho locks. And I have to mentally prepare myself to do the hairstyle. But then I was thinking, there was this girl who came down my timeline who installed them, but I already made my locks like months and months ago. So, child, we gotta mentally prepare. But yes, that's my next hairstyle, the boho locks. We gotta get into that gig. I need to mentally prepare myself. But it doesn't look like y'all ready to come on stream. So I will catch y'all on the next video. And I didn't even realize Easter was coming up until I was talking to my homeboy today. And I was talking about my mom's party. My mom is having a party and she is pulling out all the stops for this party or whatever. And I did not even realize that Easter was Sunday. And that's so crazy because as the years go by, the less and less enthused I am to celebrate certain holidays. Like, I'm not anti-holiday. They don't really have, like, I maybe it's because my daughter is getting older. Like, when my daughter was a toddler, I used to love, like, oh, let me get the Easter basket. Let me dress her up in a dress. And, you know, all of those things. But my daughter is about to be 13 pretty soon. And she's like going into teenager. I'm really not like, there's certain holidays that I really don't care about like that. Like, so it didn't even dawn on me that Easter was Sunday. Like, I didn't even know. And I had to call my mom, and I'm like, Mom, because, you know, my mom is normally the one who, she tell me, okay, for Easter, I'm going to cook, or for Easter, this or that. My mom ain't told me nothing, so I had to call my mama like, what's the plan for Easter? She said, I ain't doing nothing special. I'm just going to cook me a little meal, and that's about it. So my mom not even, you know, she not even thrilled about it. She just feel like, girl, we gonna cook some food and that's it, whatever. But are you guys super into like the Easter spirit? How are you celebrating Easter? Let me know. Somebody said, dang, I thought it was next Sunday. Time is going fast. Ciao. Yeah. Stevie says, right, it's not the same no more. Yeah, like, I don't know. And I think the problem with these holidays is that social media is not only affecting the way that people communicate in dating, I think that it's also affecting the family infrastructure, right? Like, before, when we were younger, we would basically, like, if you haven't seen your cousin in a while or your family member in a while, the family would put together these gatherings and these cookouts, and everybody would be looking forward to these cookouts or these holidays because you would get a bunch of your family that you normally are not seeing on a daily basis. You get to link up with, you know, some of your faves. But now everybody's on social media. Everybody's posting every day. And everything. I remember when it was time for, it was a year before my class reunion, right? And the year that graduated before my year, they were doing a class reunion. And they were like, you know, the year before and the year after, you know, they were putting it on. And I was like, oh, I'm going to go, you know, I don't know what my class, I'm like, I ain't heard nothing about nobody putting together no class reunion, so I'm gonna go to the one that they did for the year before. Now, when I was asking certain people, even who graduated my high school from that year, I'm like, are y'all going to the class reunion? And they were like, no, I see them same people on Facebook every day. And I'm like, social media has literally ruined people's communication. They don't really want to gather like that. They don't really want to link up and stuff because people feel like, I see you anyways. Like, what's the difference? Like, it's very underwhelming now because of social media. So I find that that also is a component into why we are kind of moving away from the tradition as much. I think that also too, if there is a person in your family who is the nucleus, maybe like your grandmother or whatever, like once they pass away, like the things kind of dwindle down. But I feel like social media is a big component as well. What do you guys think about that? I think so. Someone says, I know the reason for the season. Yeah, so y'all let me know what y'all think down below. I'll catch y'all on the next video. If there is a topic that y'all want me to go over, if there's a topic that y'all want me to talk about, DM me on Instagram and let me know. And let's get into that. So I'll catch y'all later. I was going to hang out with y'all and talk to y'all on StreamYard, but nobody said that they wanted to talk on StreamYard. So, child, I'm not going to talk to myself. Goodbye.